rant a little bit at how stupid and petty shit has become.
Just stupid.
Stupid. Anyways, one thing that I want to talk about that I didn't write on the agenda. If you're a professional baseball team and the draft is coming up and you have a top 10 pick, what should you be doing with that draft pick? You should be drafting a baseball player, right? Mm-hmm. Then why on earth did the Oakland A's draft the fucking quarterback from Oklahoma?
He's also a baseball player?
Who's going to play football?
I would leave him play
baseball. He's already said he's going to play football.
I would leave him play baseball. You think Oklahoma's going to be good this year? You're delusional.
Kyler Murray's all right. I think he's good. He'll have them in an okay spot. They're not going to be back to the playoff.
Obviously, but of course you're in a good spot. You're in a league that you're not going to get hit. Nobody plays defense.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's a Power 5. It's a Power 5, man.
They're lucky they have 5 teams.
It's a Power 5. Do you know how Power 5 they are? They're so Power 5 that one of their better teams used their fucking linebacker at quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the better teams.
Right?
Iowa State out of nowhere.
Whatever. They took down Oklahoma. That's all I cared about. But Kyler Murray drafted by the Oakland A's playing quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners, who's already made his intentions clear that he wants to play quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners. Okay? It's so stupid to draft players, especially at number 9. Like, I get the kid's talented. I get he could be a very good baseball player. Problem is, he's not going to be a baseball player. So why'd you just waste your draft pick? This is why the A's are a fucking laughingstock in picking the top 10 all the time. What? Like, it's so stupid. So stupid. Again, I just wanted to rant for a couple minutes.
I get it.
That's like...
Go right ahead.
That's like the Broncos drafting Tim Tebow. He's a baseball player. Why?
Yeah, no, get it out now. I'll show you how it's done next week.
Yes. Tony's
I'll
1
figure
minute...
something out. Trust me. Something will happen.
And the Tony goes to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we'll call it. The Tony goes to.
Yeah.
And he'll
goes
just
to this week.
Yeah, and he'll just give his like.
It's not going to be an
speech.
award.
It's not going to be an award. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. When should we do that? Like, what part of the show?
Probably right after you talk about Baker Mayfield being the MVP, because then I'll be fired up.
So between Baker Mayfield and the sports tweets of the week.
That's fine, because
Okay.
that's where my anger level is going to hit peak capacity. Every time that you mention him as an MVP. Are you going to do this, find a different person in every season that you're going to just grind my gears with MVP?
No, it was a last-minute decision. I'm going to be honest.
Because it seems like you were planning this. You went from Lonzo Ball to Baker Mayfield pretty seamlessly.
It was a last-minute decision literally the day of when it debuted.
Yeah.
What I was originally going to do, just do the sports tweets of the week, but then I thought, no, we need something else, because the Alonzo Ball thing was so big, so important to the show. It added such, comedic relief with Tony's just gasping and Dan O'Shea's like, oh my God attitude. And so I wanted to replace that with something else that was going to be funny. And my original thought was going to be Johnny Manziel's comeback season, but it didn't look like it was ever going to happen. So I was like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm not going to have anything to talk about. So literally that day I was like, you know what? Baker Mayfield. Let's go.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'll let that fly.
So Kyler Murray could be a good baseball player, but we'll never know because he's going to be a quarterback. Let's move on. So I think...
Why would you do football? Baseball, you don't have to do anything.
I mean...
You make a bunch of money and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but how many baseball players are like the face of their team? When you think of the face of the Yankees, who's the face of the Yankees?
Pick one.
Who's the face of the Red Sox?
JD Martinez?
Is it? Because Mookie Betts is going to be the MVP.
Not with JD Martinez being tied in the AL for home runs at 19 and having 50 RBI already. Mookie Betts is still batting .359. I don't care. Pick one of them. As long as they're winning, it doesn't matter to me.
The only player that I could say is definitively the face of their franchise is the face of Major League Baseball, and that's Mike Trout.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could give that argument. I mean, look at the Asgardians they have pitching in New York for the Mets when they're healthy. With Syndergaard and DeGrom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's guys that can be the face of their baseball team. Unfortunately, there's a lot of teams out there that suck. But I mean, even the Cincinnati Reds have Joey Votto, and they're awful.
But whoever sees the Cincinnati Reds, unless you live in Cincinnati or the city that they're playing in, that's not Cincinnati, who sees the Reds?
I would say Cano in Seattle, but he's suspended for like 80 games.
And is it because I feel like I feel like it's still Ichiro Suzuki or Ken Griffey.
I mean, yeah, you'll have those iconic people. I mean, you could, if you're talking about the Red Sox, you can make an argument for Chris Sale being the face of their team. Because when he goes on the mound, he's at least lights out. The only problem is the Red Sox don't hit that night because they think somehow you can end a game like soccer.
The only team in the NFL where you can't definitively say this is the face of the team is the Browns.
I mean, until Leonard Fournette, could you say that about the Jaguars?
Yes.
If you say Blake Bortles right now, I'm leaving.
We might not like
I'm
it.
leaving.
It was 100% Blake Bortles.
It was Blake Bortles until they realized he wasn't very good.
And then they got Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, years later. But they were rocking Blake Bortles for how long? If that's your poster child...
3 years.
If that's your poster child, there's a reason you're blacked out in your own city.
That's a good point.
On a Monday night. There's no other game. You get more fans going to your London games than you do at home.
Okay, so name another team where there's not a definitive face in the NFL.
Okay, one that plays? Indianapolis, because if you see Andrew Luck, I haven't seen him on a field in 2 years.
It's still Andrew Luck. T.Y. Hilton. He's an all-star.
Okay, all right. The Bears.
Oh, obviously, it's Mitch Trubisky. He sucks.
F off. Just because it's a new guy that's in the position doesn't make him the face of the franchise. If that's the case, I'm going to think like Urlacher.
He's the one that they're marketing everything around. He's the face of the franchise. He's not good, but it's him. We don't have to like who it is. You just have to understand and accept that it is who it is.
Boo.
Boo?
Yeah, boo. Because you can find a guy that is marketing and is on the stupid billboards that's outside of every MLB stadium.
Okay, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's the face of that franchise. He sucks.
He is a daywalker.
Joe Flacco is the face of that franchise. He sucks.
Okay, just because they're the face of the franchise doesn't make him any good. Just because you don't know the face of the franchise for the St. Louis Cardinals doesn't mean he doesn't exist.
Who is it? Who's the face of the franchise for the St. Louis Cardinals?
Might be Pham right now. It's hard to say.
Who?
See? It's not even anybody I've heard of, but he exists.
Tommy Pham.
I don't know who that is.
It's also easier to follow football because you only have to pay attention to at max 3 nights a week.
Not only that, you have 20 games tops.
No kidding. But in baseball, your one team alone has 164 games.
62.
Whatever. We're splitting hairs over 2 and we're talking about 160 games?
Yes, we are.
Oh, Christ.
Actually, this might still be Molina, but he's hurt.
Molina, yeah, no, it'd probably be Yadier
Yadier.
Molina. Yeah.
Okay. So we were able to come up with that. The only one I can think of is somebody, and I would really have to struggle with being the Marlins. But that's because they're pretty much a single A team.
It's Derek Jeter right now. Which is
Obviously
a joke.
because they're a single A team.
Oh, man.
Yet somehow they're winning. The Mets still lose to them. I don't know how that happens.
Because the Mets are a joke of a franchise.
Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm. We all know that. It's common knowledge. You can't be a good franchise if you've given all your money to Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, you're paying the same guy for the next 20-some-odd years.
Literally made off with their money. Anyways.
Didn't that almost happen in NFL, too?
Never seen a more fitting name.
I don't know if anyone's seen them, but I know you have, BB. The shirt with the Mets logo, with the Mets going up in the writing.
Yep.
It said Madoff. And I wanted one so bad, but when I went to buy one, they were sold out.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, yep. So, I don't know how we got on this topic, but Tony and I were yelling at each other, so it's a good segment.
It's fine. I'm okay with it.
Anytime Tony and I get into a heated debate, heated discussion, he starts yelling at me, I start crying. It's a good show.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah,
That's a recipe right there.
That and, Reggie Ragland intercepted off his balls.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Reggie Ragland not only can get tagged in the bag, but he can keep his composure and intercept the ball afterwards. I have to get in the middle of this pass. Should I throw my hand up? Nope, just going to put the speed bag right in front. Then I'm going to grab the ball and I'm out.
I'm going to... Oh, man. Let's move on to the NBA. Speaking of scrotums, J.R. Smith.
I should tweet that at Reggie Ragland. Best ball catching interception I've ever seen.
J.R. Smith.
Yeah, J.R. Smith, yes.
Perfect transition.
So, that's what I said. Talk about scrotums, J.R. Smith. Yeah. So, the Cavaliers, man, they looked really good game one. Till the final 8 seconds. Besides, while Tony searches for the words to say.
No, I know what I want to say, but finish recapping.
Outside of those 8 seconds, LeBron kept the Cavaliers in the game. He had to score 51 to do it, but he kept them in the game. Mm-hmm. The team looked energized. They looked like they could legitimately hang with the Warriors. But we all know the sad, hard truth is they can't. Tony, what were you going to say?
I agree with you. I mean, I don't like giving this person praise because fuck them. But LeBron James, what he's doing right now, I mean, 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in the first game, and to just have it pissed away by J.R. Smith like that, like, I actually have to commend him because it must have taken everything in him not to punch him right in the mouth when he was trying to explain himself. Because I would have hit him. I would have been like, "You're gonna kick me out of the game for hitting my own teammate? You know who deserved it." I mean, what more do you really want LeBron James to do in that situation on the road, game one? Man, that's unfortunate. That sucks. I actually slightly feel bad for LeBron because he didn't screw it up. But also in the same sense, fuck him.
So I've been hearing that. What more do you want LeBron to do? What more do you want LeBron to do? On the field, there's nothing more on the court, there's nothing more he needs to do. It's off the court he has more he needs to do. He needs to not try and control the franchise. He needs to not hold franchises ransom. He needs to be a smarter player and realize that his job is not front office or back office. He doesn't have an office. His office is the court. So when he denies trades, that I understand, the star player should be involved in some things. But much like we were saying with Carmelo holding the Knicks ransom, he can't hold the Cavaliers ransom, which is exactly what he's doing by not committing to playing there again and not allowing them to move on from him while he's there.
Let's be entirely real about the situation. LeBron, for the rest of his career, is running franchises. He is basically playing basketball while he does his internship. Because that dude is making money hand over fist, and if you don't think that he's going to have the amount of money to buy an expansion team when they decide to expand, I think we're naive in that.
I mean, I don't think that I'm going to sit here and tell you that he's not going to be the next,
Jordan in the sense of buying a team.
Oh, I wasn't gonna.
Because I think that's what he's gonna do eventually. He's going to get himself in a position where he's ownership and he's gonna make other people uncomfortable. That's what he does. He makes people uncomfortable because of how imposing he is on franchises. First off, Cleveland doesn't want people burning down the city, and that living in that city is depressing enough. So they're just allowing LeBron to do whatever he wants so he doesn't leave, so the suicide rate doesn't spike.
I was going